Hi, welcome to Bobby's Popcast. I felt like being a little bit dicey and spicy and saucy, as Wayne would say from Wayne's World. So I wanted to bring up a topic that I thought was fascinating because Bobby's Popcast has a lot of radio listeners. Thank you to all my radio listeners who have followed me over to the Popcast. I'm so grateful for your support. And I picked up a few younger listeners along the way, some Gen Zers. So this one's about boomers being shocked that Gen Zers don't have common skills. And, I thought it'd be fun to talk about it because generational squabbling to me is always fun. Here's the thing. Learn to respect each generation for what they are. Yes, they come from a different time frame, but if we learn to respect each other from each different generations and try to see each other from different perspectives, guess what? That's called harmony and peace and unity. And I'm Bobby Adon from the great state of Colorado, contestant number 15. That would be my pageant answer. But older folks typically kind of like to complain about how those kids these days, wouldn't be able to function way back in 1971. And they're not too far off. The younger generations whine about how boomers aren't able to function now. So you see, it's like, tit for tat a little bit. So a website has put out yet another list of common skills that boomers are shocked that Gen Zers don't know about. And here are some of them. Let's go through them. Number one is how to read a map and figure out directions without GPS. I'm going to be honest. Back in the day, I never really had to drive with a map, but I was from the school of Yahoo Directions where I used to have to type in the directions. I'd print them out and I would have them in my car. So I'm a millennial. So I'm kind of like smack dab in the middle between both generations, but it's also something you don't really need to know right now because most phones have GPS and so do cars. So there's that. Number two, boomers' complaints about Gen Zers not having common skills. How to address a piece of mail. This is something that's kind of a lost art form. I mean, most people don't really have to use mail nowadays because we use email and Amazon packages get delivered. So you don't really need to use your address for a lot of stuff. So it's kind of a lost art form. I would say that's more for Christmas cards or stuff like that. Number three, how to unclog a toilet using a plunger. This is shocking to me because this is something that every bathroom in every house should have. I've got two girls, one's 13, one's 10. And I'm constantly having to unplug their toilet. So they know how to do it as well. So if you're a Gen Zer, learn how to unplug a toilet because you don't want water damage or plumbing damage in your house or apartment. Number four, how to tell time on a clock with hands. This is something my daughter and I were talking about. She has a hard time reading time with a regular clock. She's learning through school. But nowadays, you look at your phone. It tells you right now. It tells you what time it is. Good morning. And it's kind of a lost art form. I think now clocks are for decoration, really. Number five, how to count correct change. Now, if you're in sort of a cashier position and you're a Gen Zer, you obviously probably know how to do this. A lot of younger bank tellers know how to do this, but counting correct change is something a little bit of a lost art form as well. You got to know how to count correct change. But most people don't use cash. I'm going to be honest again. Here I go again. I never carry cash. The only time I carry cash is when I have to give it to my kids for something. Number six, how to type on an actual keyboard. I'm using one right now. I'm also a millennial. I never learned how to do typing per se. I kind of, it was really unfocused. I have ADHD, so I was really unfocused in typing class. That, and also my teacher was super boring. So I just didn't grasp the notion of typing, but I'm really good at texting with my phone. So I don't know. I'm going to be on the Gen Zer side on that one. Number seven, how to mend clothes and sew on buttons. I guess that's something that's important, but if something is losing buttons or torn, I just throw it away. That's me. I don't really know if you need to know that per se. Number eight, how to cook. I think this is something that everybody should learn because going out to eat is expensive. Also Uber Eats and DoorDash, all that stuff. It adds up. So yes, you should learn how to cook basic things. I'm not the best cook. I will say I make really good eggs and pancakes. What else do I make that's really good? I make really good spaghetti as well. My kids like it when I make spaghetti. Number nine, how to do basic handyman skills. Well, I'm guilty of that. Like a simple outlet replacement. You lost me there. Changing a light fixture. I've tried it before. Once one popped in my room, I gave up after that. Installing a shelf on a wall. Actually, my wife was talking about installing shelves back here so I could put up some of my little decor things. And I'm like, it seems complex. So yeah, I guess maybe handyman skills Gen Zers should probably learn. How to write a check. Here's something that's kind of an outdated sort of thing. I don't really know why we even have checks. I know you need them for certain things, but writing a check, is kind of an outdated form. And I'll leave you with this one. This one's really important because a lot of people complain about this, because when you're a Gen Zer and you're signing something that's of importance of a document, you've got to learn how to do a signature, which involves cursive. So how to write in cursive is something that boomers complain that Gen Zers don't know how to use as a common skill. So this is what I would do. I would go on YouTube. I would Google or search up how to do cursive, or at least write some stuff. And, you know, honestly, you can just get away with scribbling something because nobody really checks nowadays. But I think it's important. You know, it's nice to write something in cursive every once in a while. I think it's romantic, if you will. So there you go. Gen Zers, your move. You can either adapt and learn these skills, and boomers, you could just keep complaining about him on Facebook. And guess what? Nobody will know any different. Thank you for watching another episode of Bobby's Popcast. I appreciate you tuning in wherever you stream or watch. Thank you for putting up with my face mask. This is a pink clay mask, mud mask from Target. It evidently absorbs oils. It puts nutrients back into my skin to make me look beautiful and stunning. And a brother is about to be 45, so I got to do everything I can to try to keep up with the trends. And I'm keeping up with the Kardashians a little bit too, so there's that. Thank you for watching. Go to BobbyAdon.com for all my links. You can find me on that and all my streaming platforms. All the links are right there for you because I want to be available to you at your fingertips. BobbyAdon.com. That's BobbyAdan.com. Just one more time, BobbyAdon.com.